Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Vibe with 5 is back this week and we're asking you to send your live score 6 predictions where the highest scorers will have the opportunity to win a signed shirt of your choice. All you have to do is download the Livescore app, sign up to Livescore 6 and send a screenshot of your predictions to 5's Instagram story.
This weekend, Livescore 6 are offering you the chance to win another £250,000 and all you have to do is predict the scores of the 6 selected matches and the jackpot could be yours.
So, what are you waiting for? Click the Livescore link in the top right or in the description, download the app and sign up to Livescore 6. Predict the 6 scores for a chance to win the £250,000 prize.
Woo! Only in the UK and Ireland, and you have to be over 18 to enter. Full T's and C's apply. Tune in to the end of the show where we'll be sharing our Livescore 6 predictions for this week.
It's a Vibe with 5, and you already know this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this week's episode of Vibe with 5. You got here myself, Joel Beya, still top of the league, I should say. You've got here Rio and Stephen Howson. You're actually only 6 points away, you know. It's not too, I mean, it could be 9 by, but it's not that far.
I used to think when we used to turn the season, turn the year, we could be within 8 or 9 points and we'd still win the league. So
seriously?
I'm confident with that, being 6 points behind.
You're confident?
Confident what?
Oh, mate, listen, I don't know. Listen, we've had the last 2 results, we've won games.
Yeah.
But the performances have sucked, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's not even been a moment where you go, do you know what? No, we've grinded here. Nah, it's not even.
You didn't think against Sheffield United? No, we struggled.
Rio, Newcastle put 8 past them. Didn't even try.
City won 2-1.
Yeah, they did, yeah. But they're treble winners.
Tough place to go, Bramall Lane.
Not that tough.
I don't know.
We've got 1 point all year.
I'm trying to find some positivity here.
Is it? Clearly.
Yeah,
Is there any positivity?
Scott McTominay, man.
Is there any positivity?
No new injuries?
Scott McTominay, man. Like, that's a good story if I were a Man United
why
fan
is that a good story?
because he was supposed to be sold this summer. Do you know what I mean? And he stuck it out.
Do you know how many passes he made in that game?
Okay, well, let me finish and then you can count on as much as you want. He stuck it out. And then, to be fair, he hasn't complained. He's come back and he's now scoring goals for Man United. There's positivity in that.
Right. This is like when you have defenders that score goals or what's his primary function? He's a midfielder. So he's meant to tackle and pass. That's the primary function. Stop the opposition coming and get into the defence and move the ball up the pitch into the more creative players. Him scoring goals is a distraction from what he's meant to do as a footballer. He had 8 passes. And if I looked at that game, my thoughts of that game were, there is no control in this and it's backward and forward like that. And then you go, why is there no control in this game? It's not unrelated.
Well, look, fair enough. Like, to me, it doesn't bother me at all. But I do think you have to be able to look, you have to scramble for as much positive points as possible with your team at the moment. But you have to take that and go, him and Maguire, you know, like he got man of the match, didn't he? Like, you have to be able to go, look, some of these players who were cast out, right, are still playing for the shirt at the current moment. So you have to take something positive.
They're givens though, isn't it? Like that we shouldn't be like applauding like something that should be standard. You get put in a team, you go and try and perform. You put effort in. That's what we're kind of applauding. Scott McTominay scored a couple of goals. That's been great, and he's got us 3 points in that game especially. But I think, listen, the character of those 2 players, especially Harry Maguire, they've been the victim of ridicule at times. Not Scott McTominay, but Harry Maguire.
Scott has.
And to come back,
Scott's had a bit of shit like that.
or if he's had it as well, then both of them have shown real good character, strong character, mental strength to come back. And when called upon to come in and play, but you just need to see that over a consistent period of time. Like you saw Eric Ten Hag's comments about Maguire, he's dominating his opponent now. The problem was before there was too many incidences in the games that he came on. Even though his win record has been good for when he's played, while he's been in and out of the team, he still had moments in those appearances where you go, wow, he's off it, like silly fouls or out of position or cumbersome play, etc., where you could still point the finger and go, regardless of the result, you look a bit off the pace. So the last game especially, he looked more like himself in an England shirt for Manchester United, trying to dominate his opponent, winning these duels, etc. So long may that continue. Simple as that.
I mean, he's had to watch Shaw start ahead of him as a centre back. He got stripped off the captaincy this season. You know, he never went against the manager. He's had to fight for his place, even though some of it is he got it due to injuries and stuff like that.
He didn't have to fight for his place. He just had to wait for injuries. Because he would, no matter what, he wasn't playing.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But he stepped in and he's done his job. That's all I'm saying. Because as you're right, it's a given that you should be playing for your shirt. But going through everything he's gone through, a lot of human beings wouldn't have been able to like even step out on that.
Oh, come on, man! He's not had Beckham level abuse.
No, but
exactly what I was going to say. So we watched the documentary.
Have you watched it now?
You caught up with it, yeah?
I've watched it now. Brilliant. I need royalties, by the way.
Yeah.
Bex. He said I should have bought it. He bought me an unbelievable. Sent me a bottle of wine the other day. To say thanks for being. So Bex, shout out David Beckham. Appreciate the wine. Beautiful bit of red.
Yeah.
But when you see that show, we forgot how toxic it was for Bex. And listen, I was obviously with him, right? And you're in the stadiums alongside him or playing against him, and you're like, is this hate really needed? Is this what playing football and making one error in a game leads to? Because if so, I don't want a piece of this. This is how you would have been thinking back then. This is like, whoa, don't bring me any. Actually, don't put me anywhere in pictures next to this guy. That's like, you don't want to be near him, because he was getting the level of abuse that you don't see. So,
we always blame.
My only point. Sorry, Steve. My only point is that when you hear players, and it is relative, but when you hear players talking about, I'm taking a lot of abuse, and boy, you ain't David Beckham.
Yeah.
You ain't getting that level, because every stadium, you might be getting ridiculed and laughed at a little bit, which is nasty, but it ain't when you've got people's neck muscles pounding out, veins popping out of their head and wanting to get at you and blaming you for the whole of the country's failure at a World Cup.
Best player in the world that season, the season afterwards, by the way.
99 season.
Best player in the world. Easily.
Facts.
Easily.
I wonder, like, we've never really brought this up. Everyone always talks about the division that existed in the England team around like golden generation, 2002, 2006 kind of time. I wonder how much of that was seeded in the way Beckham was treated, the way he wasn't protected by the manager, and maybe Ferguson's reaction to that in creating a bit of a us against them sort of mentality. So when you did go, were players scared to make a mistake on England duty that then in a way that they're not now?
That time there, Man United players, a lot of them were getting booed by England fans. That's what a lot of England fans forget.
Really?
Like, not only Becks, but other Man United players were getting booed.
In England, mate.
Yeah, so they were going to England almost like with tin hats on, expecting and waiting to get booed by the England fans, which is absolutely ridiculous. But that was a thing. So Sir Alex Ferguson, I wasn't there then, but no doubts in my mind, he's creating that siege mentality. Like, you don't even, if you've got a niggle, you don't turn up. Or when you're there, you go and play, but you save some of the tank for when you're coming back on the weekend. We've got a big game, blah, blah. So that would have been created there. But also the players in the squad, those Man United players, I was young then as well. Like, them Man United players, it was like us. It's just us. They had their own table. They sat around a table like this and ate.
Did they in 98? Because you was there in 98. Did it change after 98? Or was it already there in 98?
No, it was already there. They'd sit down on there. They'd get down early, eat, get off. So by the time I'm on my main course or dessert, them man, they're all gone. Because it was just them. They were doing their own thing. And they had that mentality, and I admired it because they just didn't give a toss. They were just like, this is us.
Do you think they were like, they knew we're above you like, anyway?
They created that vibe, like, you man ain't on our level. That's how I used to say to Andy Cole sometimes, like, what's training like? And he used to go, I think Cole used to ham up a little bit. He used to go, different level to this. England ain't nowhere near this. We've got young guns like Wes Brown coming through, chopping at your ankles. Like, the level, the speed and training. And I used to go, wow, Man United must be their dream.
So then, when you signed for Man United, right, immediately when you're on England duty, especially because you went through a few things for England as well, Was you proud to do the same thing? Was you like, it's my time to segregate us?
Not segregate us, but no, but but people would ask me, and I would maybe make sure they knew that the levels at Man United were different. Like it was though. We had Ryan Giggs and Scholes and like Veron them time, Van Nistelrooy, Roy Keane, Beck. Like you had and then you have Cristiano, Tevez, Rooney, Saha. Who don't even start. Better than some of the strikers we got here.
So you saying that the levels dropped when you went to England? Because you had some really good players, by the way.
Great players, but on England duty, none of us, myself included, ever performed to the levels that we perform for our clubs. So it was always going to be a level down or a couple of levels down in terms of players' performance. So like the Steven Gerrard that I used to see at England weren't there Steven Gerrard I saw at Liverpool, and he would, I'm sure, say the same about probably me. None of us performed to our best in an England shirt consistently. There were performances here and there. But not only because that's why we never won anything.
But you said in training, you said that you did see
training,
levels. You said when Stevie raps the ball into you.
Yeah. The difference is in training, you saw some bits in training that made you go, "Ooh,
yeah."
is that happening on a daily at your club? That one, like, and you go to one of their players and goes, "You do that on a regular basis." Like even that certain man like Tom Huddleston came to England one time, and I don't think I trained with Tom Huddleston many times, but every time I trained with him, he left something in that session that you go afterwards. You go to one of the lads. Did you see that? Did you see what Tom?
Really?
Like he played both feet. Bearing in mind he was massive. Yeah.
You've seen him recently?
He's at United, didn't he?
Yeah.
Coaching and stuff. But he have this skill where he rolls it with his right foot or left foot, rolls it with one, and in the same motion, slap past it with the opposite foot, mate. Hard to do. Yeah. He's doing it in training full speed, nonchalantly, or smashing a ball off either foot, top corner, curl, any way you like it.
Wow.
But and he wasn't one of the top players, like, no disrespect, but he wasn't. But there was, in training at times, you see things in training, like Stevie was one of them that you got. Aaron Lennon one time when he was young, when he got in the team.
Love Aaron Lennon,
God.
man.
He stopped and started a few people and went through the middle of the pitch, and all of us was like, Fergie, you got what I've seen in training. If you can replicate that in games, we need to get this guy.
What did he say about that?
I just never moved on it.
Yeah. Okay.
But the one player I used to always say to him, if I was you, if it was me buying someone for my England team.
All right, let me guess.
Go on.
Wait.
Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah, Defoe. I used to say Defoe because he wouldn't have started for us all the time, but he would have been another type of Chicharito.
Yeah.
That he comes on.
Goals.
And all he cares about is scoring. And if we're winning 5-0, he wants to make it 6, 7, 8. Because he's got that inner, like, I need goals. I live and smell and breathe goals. And he just was, we would have got him in so many positions to score.
Yeah.
It would have been a joke.
One of my favourite
Beckham doc anyway, full verdict.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Is it quite on the last dance for football level, do you reckon?
No. That is that Jordan, man. It's different.
Yeah. He's collected that footage since the 80s,
Yeah,
man.
Jordan's is that. It's the footage that comes with it just elevates it. And also what he done, 6 finals, 6 wins, MVPs, the lot. But Beck's is one, what was good, it was great for a family to watch it. So your wife, she wants to know about Posh. And what happened there. He was that famous. My kids are going, is that what David Beckham's at?
What? They don't know.
No, they know he's big.
Yeah, but they don't know.
They think that Ronaldo and Messi are the benchmark, and that's it.
Yeah.
This guy had more paparazzi than following him on a daily basis than Ronaldo and Messi. Right? Because it was just a different fandom then times. I don't know why. We obviously married a pop star. Those two guys haven't married a pop star. One of the biggest in the world at the time. But it was just good for the family to see it, and my boys to go, "Oh, Dad, I didn't realise he was that big, like, and he's that good a player as well."
He's still got a little bit of a whip in him. I see him with AJ.
Yeah,
I see him with the kids as well.
You don't lose that technique. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
But I loved it for those reasons, and also it brought back a lot for me in terms of, like, I was there on a number of occasions and big moments, and just as time goes on, the light dims a little bit, doesn't it, on certain things, and even just his popularity, but also, like we were talking before about how much he was blamed and how. Do you know one thing that come out of it for me? I'd love to know, but I'm going to ask David myself. But if you're watching, David, he watches, by the way.
He doesn't.
Did he watches the snippets that I say?
Yeah.
I watch on TikTok.
Did Glen Hoddle get a right to reply? I would love to have seen Glen Hoddle talking now and how he would reflect upon his decision to call out David immediately after the game.
Post-match. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think everyone can make mistakes. And it would have been, I think, that's one bit that for me, I go, you know what, I would like to, because I know how much it hurt David and his family. You can see his mum. She was tearing up even then. I could see it. Yeah. And it's painful, but I think he's a young manager as well, by the way, then, in terms of like experience-wise. And I think
he's in his 30s.
Yeah, I think late 30s, 38, 39. But if that question, if you had a time again, would you still talk about David the same way after such a big moment, knowing what's happened, the reaction from the English media and fans, etc.?
Last question I want to ask you on the topic is, did you realise that you were making such history at the time? So, for example, you said it took you back, you know, like you were there and stuff like that. Did you realise that, wow, this is just a special era, you know, like?
No, because I think with my thing was like, I was always chasing that treble team. Like, obviously they wouldn't have done the treble, like, iconic forever. And I was thinking, like, where's my moment going to be? Like, I need to win the Champions League. It's the only thing. I'd won Premier Leagues, and it was like I still felt inadequate in a mad way. Still, like, I can't walk around Old Trafford shoulder to shoulder with a lot of these guys still.
And that's what brings me to when you won the Champions League.
Before we go into that, because I think that's going to be a bit of a longer segment, there's a couple of bits in the doc. One is you chasing a finished R9, by the way, and getting nowhere near him, like in 2003, when he scored the hat-trick at Old Trafford.
Barthez near post, all of that jazz.
He breaks over to the right-hand side of the box, and you just looking at him.
Brother, are you really forgotten?
No. I was there, yeah? My position was a good position. Bruv, he scored at the near post, bruv. What's going on?
Hey, it's fast though, but yeah.
But I'm saying I'm blocking. My position is blocking, yeah? So, I looked at, if you see the way I look at the goalkeeper, Fabian, I loved him, man, but bruv, two of the goals shouldn't have stood.
This is a clip for TikTok, by the way.
But he was great. He was great, and he was probably like 50% of his best ever.
What about when he scored? I think it was the one outside the box, and it looked like it was mid-height for Barthez. It was quick, but
the ball bounced before it went in the net. It was a joke. Don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? My man's got a hat-trick and got a standing ovation, and rightly so, yeah. But two of them goals should not stand.
Did you tell Fabian that?
Yeah, I said, what the after the game, like what? Like,
did he just take a cigar or something?
He was in the middle of a pull with one of his fags, and he tried it with Laurent Blanc.
But yeah, go on. Steve,
last one, then, and then we'll move on to a little bit of a sadder topic, I think. Changing room, 1998. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about it. So obviously you was on the bench. I've heard you talk about Michael Owen saying that, kept me on or score, that sort of stuff. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about what did that England change room look like post Beckham sending off? What was anyone's interaction with him? What was the manager saying? Just give me some of the moments of that change room post match Argentina 98.
Yeah, it was. I remember Tony Adams speaking. I'm just like trying to pick the lads up a little bit. I remember Les, because I was obviously part of the subs crew, and Les was one of those. And Les, I don't think Les got on or whatever, and he was like fuming, wanting to have it out with Hoddle. I actually didn't see Bex. I didn't even it didn't occur to me. But then afterwards, I remember Gary and Bex walking off the coach and stuff and together or whatever it was. And me and Michael were speaking like, I wonder what the reaction is going to be like. None of us could have ever imagined it would be what it turned into. But we was like, I wonder what's going to happen. Because you've got to bear in mind, we don't see that post-match interview. We don't know that's gone out. Do you know what I mean? And then you get back to the hotel, then it's on the news. And you're like, oh shit, whoa. Okay. All I was thinking about and I was talking about was to Michael, because we were close in that tournament, was like, Mike, you have smashed it. You're a world superstar now. You've walked in, no one really knew much about you. Now you're a world superstar. Where are you going on holiday?
What was he saying?
Oh, me and my family are going to so-and-so. So I was thinking, brother, I'm going Napa.
Yeah.
I'm going Napa. I am going to live this up. You could be killing. Come with me, bro. Come with me. Imagine the knockdowns I'm going to be on. That's what I was thinking. Come on, man. Me and you. It's an unbelievable double act. Do you know what I mean? We ain't the same at all, but we're the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, no, me and my family and my girlfriend, I've been going out since school, and our family's all going on holiday. I've already booked it. I was like, yeah, man, you are boring. You ain't living the life you need to be living right now. You're not going to fulfill everything you need to fulfill. And then, what car are you getting?
Yeah.
you got to go. And he was like, I have to look at a Ferrari, man. Got to look at a Ferrari. I said, bro, you got to look at a couple of them. You got enough now to go with a couple if you want them.
Wow.
Like, we was just talking mad stuff. Because it's mad because we went in there, yeah. I wasn't even on a big contract. I think I must have been on like, comparable to the others, were on like 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a week, probably a lot of these players at that time in 98. I was probably on a couple of grand a week, if that. And he was like, I'm going to have to sign a new deal when I come out of here. Be one of the best paid players in the league. Like, I'm thinking, bro, this was just doing like lists, like wish lists. What was okay? If you do something, what are you going to get? Yeah, I'm going to buy my mum and dad a house. I'm going to get my mate, my brother and sister a house.
So he was thinking like that after that talk, like for real?
Cars. We're talking fairyland stuff. We're talking fairy tales.
So then, what's the difference here after you've spent that time with him at the World Cup? You know he smashed it, as you've said. But then obviously after that, the DVDs come out, the whatever. What was it like the next time? Like,
Bro, he was just
it like
a
a year or
superstar.
something?
Like, and we when we see each other, we just started laughing. It was just like, raw man. Your life's changed. Like, you're just, everything for you is different. You can't. And I was saying to him, like, in the summer, could you walk out? He says, no, I can't go nowhere. People everywhere just coming up to me all the time. Like, it's just changed everything. I was like, raw. People weren't coming up to me in Napa.
Yeah.
I was flying around Napa, free as a bird.
But what's amazing is he did a fantastic segment for us with Harry Pinero called Beyond the 90. It was absolutely wicked. And
go and check it out.
And this week we've actually got a this or that with Michael Owen. We ask him tough questions. We've got him going on against Wayne Rooney, against Scholes, against Gerrard, against, like, we go deep. And at one point he goes, were you trying to get me in trouble here, Joe? So
he's got good opinions on that stuff, though.
Really good. So make sure you watch it. It's coming out on Thursday, 5 p.m. But yeah, go on.
So over the weekend, obviously, we had the incredibly sad news at the passing of a football legend in Sir Bobby Charlton, obviously very special for both United and England. One of my favourite moments observing you was, and we spoke about this on a video a few years ago at Old Trafford, was about Sir Bobby coming up to you and you nearly being in tears with what he said to you following the Champions League final win in Moscow. If you want to give us that story again, but I know there's got to be more, and obviously condolences to everybody in Sir Bobby's family and everyone involved at the club as well. But you want to give us some of those, please?
Yeah, no, you like exactly what you said, echoing how important he was to the football club. I think one of the most inspirational things for me, for most of the players, I'm sure, would say, was just his presence at the club and his unwavering commitment to the football club and commitment to working for the club, because that's essentially what he was doing. He was an ambassador for the club for so many years, but he would be in China, he'd be in Australia, he'd be in America, he'd be everywhere we were, he was there. And I was saying off air, if he wasn't there, the lads would be going, where's Sir Bobby? Because he was that present at such an old age as well. And we used to sit there and go, why is he doing this, man? But it was his love and his commitment to the club was just unwavering. It was unreal to see, so very inspirational. But yeah, the moment you're talking about, we won the Champions League, and I mentioned it on my post about him after finding the news that he'd passed away. And it was a weird one, because you win the Champions League, and it's like all you think about is winning it. You don't think about what you're going to do once you've won it. You just think about getting to that point of winning it. You don't even think about lifting it. I didn't allow myself to imagine lifting a trophy as captain. But I remember being at the bottom of the stairs, and two mad things happened. I could hear my mum amongst the whole crowd. Which, if we think about it, in like how many 80,000 seater stadium, I can hear my mum. Probably 40,000 because the Chelsea fans go. I can hear my mum screaming, clambering over chairs to get my attention, to say, I'm here. So that's what she was like. She was like so proud and outwardly proud. Well, my dad's really proud, but very introverted with it. But and then I'm standing there, and you're kind of going like with the lads. You're having a little while Chelsea go up and get their runners-up medals, and then he just came over, I remember, and just like grabbed me and said, "Rio, can I have a word?" And I went, "Oh," you just immediately, your body, mannerisms, everything. It's like a school teacher, like, and he's not that way inclined. It's just that you can't help it because of the respect, and you just go, "Yeah, Sir Bobby, yeah." I just cuddled him and stuff, and he started talking in my ear and just said, "Listen, like, basically, like, do you know what this means? Just take it in, what this means. Enjoy this moment, like what it means for the football team, what it means for Manchester United, the history, Munich." He said all these things go into what this means today, what that means for them fans out there, and the fans when you're going to go back to Manchester, and you as somebody who lifts this trophy for this club, like the importance, the magnitude of that, like, and like I said, I didn't ever think how big that is. It was just more of a like, I've got a Champions League medal now, and that's great. But when you sense all of that responsibility, what the makeup of the football club, the tragedy, the highs, the lows, and you start thinking, wow, like actually, I said on my press conference when I signed, I just want to be able to walk out the door etched in the history of this football club. And all of that came back at that time. That's why I got emotional as well. He made me realise, fucking, this is big shit. Like, this club, the foundations are built on this type of shit, and you're a part of it, and you're a big part of it. And it was just like a real calming from being a bit hyped and kiddie and jovial, which you're meant to be, but it was just a real like, okay, the realisation is this is some big shit you just done, and enjoy it, and just remember what's gone on before.
But he lifted it. He lifted it at Wembley himself.
He actually said to me, he said, only three of us have done this. Me, obviously Peter Schmeichel, and now yourself. And then when you do, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think about that. You don't think about it, and you're just like, fucking, oh, whoa, this is like, actually, guys, we're doing some good shit. This is some real shit, big shit. Like, and Sir Bobby's telling me this. He's come out of his way. He didn't have to come over to me. That's another thing afterwards. And I'm sitting there when we're in the gala thing after. I remember sitting there, as a mad a night it was, a couple of times going, fucking Bobby Charlton just come and spoke to me, man, and took time out to come and chat to me. This is surreal. You know what I mean? It's just like, I couldn't have dreamed of stuff like that. Bobby Charlton even knowing me, let alone wanting to talk to me and give me a bit of advice and saying well done and stuff. It was unreal. He was a great guy, man.
Yeah. I was saying, obviously we can't, I know Sir Alex might have had it's different, his wife's past and, Sir Bobby Charlton's past. It's like, these are close people in his life. You explained to me off air how you found out about it, and also some of the characteristics he had towards the other players, where, let's just say something went wrong on the pitch or whatever, he would have a word, and he would always make sure that there was an uphold of good character at Man United. You were explaining that earlier.
That's what it seems, yeah. I mean, I was saying to Rio earlier, I had to tell my granddad, and I was nervous at telling my granddad. I felt like I was telling him a family member had passed away. So Bobby Charlton is Manchester United. This is... If I told you Sir Bobby Charlton's career and said, let's make a film about it, you'd go, let's tone some of this down because that's too Hollywood. His career's too Hollywood. From being a Busby babe, that is a small category. There ain't loads of them. There's only a few of those. To being one of the 40 people that was on the plane crash at Munich, and one of only half of many of that actually survived that, and even less that survived it and continued to play, because there was people whose careers, obviously lives were ended at that, but there was people whose careers they lived but they never played again. Jackie Blanchflower being one of those. From that, has a period where mental health wouldn't have even been considered at the time. But he has a little bit of time out. It's back end of the season he eventually gets talked back into playing. Harry Gregg and Bill Foulkes, I can't wrap my head around how they played football 2 weeks later. It's unfathomable. He takes a little bit longer to get round and get back and start playing again. But then he leads United to rebuild. They win an FA Cup in 63. They win the league in, I think it was 65 and then 67, which is what got them entry back into the European Cup. He leads us to the European Cup in 68. He wins a World Cup with England. There's not many people that can say that they've won.
And a Ballon d'Or.
And a Ballon d'Or. He was the best player in the world in 66. He finishes as England's all-time scorer. Only recently had that overtaken by Rooney and Harry Kane. United's all-time leading scorer. Obviously, Wayne Rooney's taken that. But he also ended his United's all-time appearances. And you think, if you'd have written that as a career someone could have, people would have said to you like this, that's not real. It's not real. And then I saw a post from Gary Neville yesterday after the games this weekend, where he would talk about some of the things that Sir Bobby would always be. And like you, he said he was just sort of always in the background, and maybe he offers a different kind of word to what you might have got from Sir Alex. But he was the sort of, from what I can gather, the compass for what was right about the club. about the direction that we should go or the attitude we should take, and I wonder how much of Manchester United values actually derive from Sir Bobby Charlton. And
you gave an example quickly. You said that once Gary Neville made a tackle. And
yeah, I mean, well, I'd say go and listen to Gary Neville doing it, and obviously we're not plugging everyone else's podcast here, but I would actually just say go and see what Gary Neville said about him this weekend, because it's a worthy watch about the different aspects. And obviously Gary, coming through as a youth player at United as well, would have been a little closer to him than some of us. But he obviously coming through the United Academy system himself, and I imagine the likes of Bobby Charlton are constantly referenced as your 15, 16, 17-year age, about to make your debut, and then just having him around. Was he in the dressing room much when you were playing?
After probably 99% of the games we
Really?
played, yeah. He only wouldn't have been there because of health maybe, or something in the family. He was everywhere. I think even my last game for United, I think he was even in the change room. He's just always there. And the lads, even when I've got pictures on the team on the parade bus. He's on the parade bus with the Premier League, and he's like, we're all going bananas, all like half pissed, and he's in the middle of it. Yeah, quiet, but he's just there, just enjoying the moment, just like living and breathing through us. He was unbelievable.
Condolences to Sir Bobby Charlton. I'm going to move it on now to the other game that was played on the weekend. Well, the game that was played yesterday: Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2.
Saliba or Thiago Silva?
Right now, I think I'd rather have Saliba. But obviously, in his prime though, Thiago Silva in his prime. Yeah. In his prime, Thiago Silva. But right now,
right now, Saliba's in good form. But come on, bro, this is Thiago Silva.
Yeah, we know.
Until Thiago hangs them boots up, he's number one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's total.
All right.
You was on your knees at one point. Arteta out, he was saying in the WhatsApp group.
I didn't say that.
The vibes are
I didn't say that.
wouldn't they?
I didn't say that.
The club's in shambles.
I did not say that.
That's all I saw.
I was
two goalkeepers in rotation.
Oh, the keeper situation was getting called out.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That was being spoken about. Like,
Well, okay, let's forget the performance at the moment. Where are you with Arteta and the goalkeeper situation?
do you want to know what? Joel Beya on 5, or do you want to know Honest Joel?
Hang on,
what do you want
we have Honest Joel only on here.
I've not got a Rio on 5, have I?
Yeah, you do. You got Rio with Ronaldo. You got loads. You got different facets, mate.
Go on,
but I'll be honest with you. I want Ramsdale back in goal ASAP.
Do you?
Yeah, because look,
Man's
this is why
confidence is destroyed. You want to bring him back?
No,
one mistake,
no.
you'll be,
He chose to just go and say, "Listen, my missus having a baby. I'm not coming today."
Yeah, I thought that was
if he was playing,
still.
I think the baby comes and he has to go and see the baby after.
He phoned in
maybe
sick.
we
He phoned in sick on you.
Nah. That's different, man. Having a baby, you know what I mean? That's
No,
an
listen,
important
everyone
thing.
makes the decisions on that differently.
But
only joking.
He played anyway. He's not his first choice. Simple.
Okay, but listen to this. Well, according to Arteta, you know, if the keeper's not
Arteta
having
said
a great,
he had 43 formations. He's talking shit.
If he's not having a great game, he's had times where he wants to change the goalkeeper.
Do you think if Ramsdale was in the stadium that day or against Chelsea the other day, do you think he comes on for a tactical decision?
No, and that's what is confusing. But again, that's why I'm the fan and he's the coach, right?
Okay. Do you think also that after the mistakes that he's made in the last couple of games, or how shaky he's looked in the last couple of games, Raya, that Arteta has to be fair and go, right, you have to sit down on the bench now?
I think he has to be, but I don't think he will.
Why not?
Because I think he's made his choice for who's his number one.
But he said he hasn't. He said he hasn't though.
So
he said it's going to show tactically. Every game brings a different requirement.
Ten Hag, yeah, but Ten Hag says things all the time. All these coaches, they'll say whatever they need to do.
Why are we talking about Arsenal and you brought Man United? You always do this.
Example. We've just spent 45 minutes talking about Man United.
Yes, so why are you bringing him up again?
To guide the audience through what it is that we're talking about here.
Stay focused on your team. I've heard that before. We've heard that before. Focus on your own team.
I've got a screenshot of it.
Do you know what I mean? Focus on your own team. Right. Every conversation come back to Ten Hag, Man United. Go on,
like I was saying, I think that Ramsdale didn't do anything to get dropped in the first place, and I think he should have kept his position. And if he had made mistakes, then fair enough.
Arteta out,
You
basically.
know, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Completely
saying your
disagree
manager's
with his
wrong then.
decisions.
No, I'm just saying this is what I would do and this is what I think. And I don't, even though he's my manager, I don't have to agree with everything he does. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with him doing that.
Well, do you
know?
think Ramsdale is in the right mental state to come in now?
Yeah, because
Really?
I think
No
he's more.
way.
I think he's more resilient than people give him props for. So, for example, let's just say he's not having the baby.
I think he looked shocked by the fact that he brought a keeper in.
Wait.
That's why he ended up getting dropped in the first place.
Stay. Let me just do my thing here. Basically, yeah, I believe that Ramsdale's got a strong
That's the
character.
pull-out.
So,
Just right there.
what's that?
Carry on.
I think he's got strong enough character. And if I'm Ramsdale, I'm going, you know what? This is my chance. If he had started against Chelsea or whatever, if he had been called in, because you go, you know what? This is my chance to come in and show why I'm number one and why I was number one, etc. It's the challenge, the element of the challenge sometimes can overcome the confidence issues. I'm not saying that you're a weak person. No, weaker players, let me just say it, weaker players would probably struggle in that situation like that. But I believe in Aaron Ramsdale so much. I think that if he's put in that situation against Chelsea, he's going to show why he is who he is.
See, why I don't agree with you, right? Because I've seen a lot of pundits and I've seen a lot of people who talk about the game on social media and platforms. They're trying to talk about goalkeepers like they're outfield players. They are absolutely different people, different specimens, have to be treated differently. At no point in any goalkeeper's career, from grassroots all the way to the first team, professional football, has a goalkeeper been told that you two, I don't know, is my number one. You're going to fight it out. They are wired completely different to any outfield player. One is knows he's number two, and the other one knows he's number one. And unless the number one makes a catalogue of errors, he will remain number one. That's how it's always been. And so for people to say, "Oh, he's got to deal with it," they're wired differently.
When you say he's got to deal with it, can you elaborate on that?
He's got to deal with another goalkeeper coming in and then them either changing and chopping and changing, or saying that Raya can come in and take number one shirt just like he has out of nowhere, and that Ramsdale's going to be okay to go back in there, because Ramsdale's going to be now sitting there thinking, I am on icy ground no matter what happens. I might play a ball, which is a difficult ball, and it might get cut out, or the opposition player might head it, and immediately his first thought is, what's the manager thinking? What's his mannerisms? What's his body language? Immediately, because he's now uncertain of his position. Every goalkeeper that plays in the league, around the world, at every level, is 100% certain they are number one. So to change that and flip it on his head and expect a goalkeeper now to be okay with that and comfortable with that, and that's fine.
I didn't say he should be okay and comfortable.
No, but I'm saying that he should be, listen, got to deal with it.
Mikel said that, not me.
But yeah, I just find it really impossible. Yeah, I think it's impossible to expect a goalkeeper that has been conditioned for their whole life one way to then flip. Players are different. We're always never, ever 100% number one. Yeah, I'm in form, I'm the man. But you have a couple of bad games, there's a geezer waiting to get in and take your shirt. But that's expected, that's understood. Not with goalkeepers.
The goalkeeper's such a confidence position as well, even more so than strikers, because it's mistakes, not goals. So it's catastrophic. You have a mistake.
And it impacts the players in front of you. Yeah. It's massive. Like, I get it, you know. Like, for me, if you were to ask me who do I reckon should be number one, I support all the players that come into Arsenal, but I would have said Ramsdale because he hasn't warranted not being number one.
The one thing that is very different is where Mikel, I think, has been ruthless in this, is that Raya is a particular type of goalkeeper. He's on the front foot, he's aggressive, his distribution is very, 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 very good, and that's the reason why he's come in. It's all about distribution. When we have the ball, recycling possession, keeping possession, playing more kind of vertical balls that are going to impact the game and the dynamic of the game. Yes, H to the P.
We're on to Chelsea versus Arsenal. We're talking about Ramsdale, Raya.
I don't think he's done anything to warrant him not being in the team. I think the loan from that you know, Raya is just a loan. Luckily, it's not a buy. I think was
Is it with an obligation though?
Not sure.
Yeah, well, it could be to buy, but for me, I think in that game we saw that he's not outstanding with his passing. There was a lot. I counted it actually, 6 times where he passed the ball out of play. And I don't really see Ramsdale doing that a lot.
He's under pressure now, isn't he?
Yeah. And I think with Ramsdale, he's a good professional. But when your manager comes out and saying you need to work harder, it just makes it look as if he's not a good trainer. But every Arsenal player, if you ask them about Ramsdale, his mentality is elite. for where he's started from and where he is now. Integral part of why Arsenal was so good. The amount of great saves he made.
Yeah, he made
last
big
season.
saves.
He's a leader. He's a leader from the back, and I don't think Raya is that. But I think Arteta's got a big choice now. Next game, big game, he has to play a keeper, and for me, it has to be Ramsdale.
I'll be honest. If I am,
You agree now that it should be Ramsdale, yeah? Because that's what I said.
no, I don't really care who he puts in. But all I'm saying is, I think you just got to. As a player, I'm talking about from a player's perspective. You want consistency. If he's coming in because you're thinking that he's better than me, or I haven't been doing X, Y, and Z. Now, if he's making mistakes, surely I've got to get my opportunity back. Like that's what I'll be thinking. But I'll be interested to see what the manager does in the next game because it's a big call, man.
What do you want then?
I think Ramsdale shouldn't have got dropped in the first place. If I'm honest with you, if you've got two keepers that are that good, I just think if he had made mistakes and we were like, oh, we're not really sure about him, we were talking about him being number one goalkeeper potentially.
I still think he's England's best goalkeeper, in my opinion.
You know, but to have taken that position from it, and that's what it feels like, if I'm honest, it just doesn't sit right with me. And if the person that comes in, i.e. Raya, he needs to not be putting a foot wrong in like 10 games.
If I'm
already in the last few games, we've seen X amount of mistakes.
Yeah.
When he played the ball to, I don't know, it was Cole or whoever he played it to or whatever, I just thought to myself, what?
That's pressure because he won't make any mistakes at Brentford. But that's again the difference playing for Brentford, no disrespect, and then going to Arsenal under the spotlight. Different pressures, man. But if I am Aaron Ramsdale, I'm at Mikel Arteta's door. I'm banging down the door.
Making problems that he didn't need to.
Yeah.
The decision he should be making is, where is Odegaard in a big game again?
Okay, Steve, this is what I came here for.
Whoa.
This is what I came here for. Now, Steve, see, I've been saying, that Odegaard is Arsenal's best player because when he's on the ball, it's magic, yeah? But in big games, especially this season, there hasn't been that much big games. I think the two big games you probably have had. United, he scored, but he wasn't incredible. He wasn't incredible. That was a stat pad game for me, for Odegaard.
Did he pass it or not?
Well, yes, he did. Okay, he passed it, but it's a stat pad. We saw the performance wasn't the greatest, but Tottenham and also against Chelsea, he was a ghost. That was Casper. And I think for me, when they compare it, and this is the thing with
feel free to jump in if you disagree.
Yeah. Football fans, we do this thing where we always go, he's like the new this. Ozil, one thing I can always say about Ozil, there's not a game that he didn't show up in when he was called for. He shows up. Now Odegaard, there's another stat I want to throw out there. Even for Norway, horrible when Haaland ain't playing. So for me,
how's McTominay dragging that Scotland team through that group, and meanwhile this Norway team with two
I want to apologise to
players
because I've been a critic because I want more from him, and he's actually showing this is it's mentality.
But
it's okay.
Yeah, but the two guys were saying that even and I will say two guys, even though he scored, he's still not doing anything else that he should be doing.
Who said that?
Look,
who said that?
Saka didn't have the best game, but he's just come back from injury. He hasn't been injured, Odegaard, this season. So what's his excuse? What is it?
Arsenal were lucky.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, man.
You lot were bad.
Yeah,
No, we were horrible.
We were
horrible, man.
Honourable mention. Declan Rice is incredible, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
He's the truth. He's the truth.
He's the shit as well against Chelsea.
He's the truth.
No. You know what? I'm with Steve on this one. He weren't great till he scored.
No, but what I mean...
But no, he wasn't great.
Arsenal weren't great. Okay.
No, Arsenal
he
weren't
didn't
great.
lose the ball.
True.
He didn't lose the ball.
Yeah.
50-50s he won. Like, look, he's not
Where was he when Chelsea were attacking?
Where was everyone?
He was just looking at him.
And I agree with you. I agree with the both of you.
That's not his game, though.
It was.
Of course it is.
Arsenal as a whole were not
breaking
good.
it up, but not scoring.
But when it counts, he stood up.
Like, without that goal, Arsenal don't get back into it.
But he's got what he's got. He's transferred the character and personality immediately to that dressing room.
Yeah.
Like a lot of players take time to adjust and whatnot. He seems to have gone in there and gone, listen, I'm going to take over this dressing room.
Ground running. And it was good because, sorry Rio to interrupt, but there's the element where he mops things up. Like all these other games, Crystal Palace, like it's going all crazy. He keeps it calm. City, he keeps it calm. On Sunday, he scores when you need him to score. Against United, he scores when you... So he's doing what he's doing on both ends of the pitch, and I think it's priceless, and that's why we're not talking about his price tag.
But I would say is for all we're talking about Arsenal, Chelsea gave us a snippet of the benchmark now. I heard in commentary as well, like this is now the benchmark for City. Pochettino has seen something now in the performance and almost a result. Unfortunately, didn't get the result for them, but he's seen enough there, I think, that he can go, right, that's going to stay up on the wall, that one. That's the benchmark performance. That's what we should be looking like. And we can now evolve on that and grow on that as well, because he ain't had an opportunity to do that yet. And they all played up until the goal, and they felt like they folded at that point. But what impressed me more about them, they weren't great with the ball, because they didn't really have the ball a lot, but they were so difficult to play through. They were in the middle. They thickened it up in the middle. There was no balls going straight through to the centre forwards. They weren't getting caused any real problems. And obviously then the goal comes up from a mistake. But I mean, there's so much good from a Chelsea point of view, which has been such a negative place in terms of supporters and talking about. They've bought potential. A lot of players, most of the players they've bought a potential.
Listen, I think it's only fair to start naming individuals. I'll start off with Cole Palmer.
40 million is a steal.
Bad man.
Whoa,
That's
Cole
feeling
Palmer.
like a steal.
He's swag. The way he bowls about that pitch for a young kid.
He has to have black in it. He must be mixed race.
On and off the pitch, innit?
Yeah.
On and off the pitch.
He's got a bit. He's got a bit.
Yeah. You know, I just thought, big man, you've just batted
the
it up.
shorts. If he didn't have cycling shorts on underneath the side, you'd be seeing the crack of his bottom, bro. His shorts are so low. Like the brother, just the way he moves here, he does warm ups. He's looking over to us, not to me, looking at because Joe Lescott trains with him at under 21s, or he did, and they know they got a relationship, and he's banging balls about and looking at Joe getting jokes in like Champions League semis and finals and that, and I'm thinking this kid don't give a he's just relaxed.
Nah, he's a bad man.
But
do you know another player who I was so proud of?
Before you move on to that player, my bad. Did you see the little thing with him and Raheem Sterling?
Yeah.
I thought that showed.
Yeah, that was, and Raheem said, "Go on, bad man, do your thing."
Enzo said to him, "Go on, let him have it." And I thought he must have a lot of respect for Enzo for him to have even listened to him, because as far as I'm concerned,
I think Raheem's just a professional, because in that he's the most
great screenshot of his face though.
No, he was gutted. He was gutted. But by the end of the day, look, he done the business, and I think that is an indication of what they bought from City, the mentality that he's learned from that club to go to Chelsea, to go to London. You see it a lot of the times when players come to London, they get lost in the vibe of what London hype, but he's living up to
London's
it. My favourite player in that whole Chelsea team right now is Conor Gallagher. I'm a massive fan of him, you know. Like, he does the dirty work. It doesn't always look pretty, but in order to transition from defence to attack, or to create chances, the ball, he's so good. I think they've got a good player in that team. I think Caicedo, though, he needs to warm up big time, because that's the highest paid, the most expensive player in Premier League history, and it doesn't seem as if he's. You know what, money. I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, he cost this, but
you need to see something.
I need to see Rabona.
Something.
I need to see Rabona passes or something. You know what I'm trying to say?
Something.
But yeah,
I was crying out for him as well. You know, when we didn't get him, boy, I was ready to go back on the dock, mate.
The mad thing is Thiago Silva is almost 40 years old.
39.
Like, how is he doing this? He is taking liberties. It's unbelievable.
He's calm with it as well.
He's passing under pressure is unreal, crispy.
And he knows how he can do he knows how to draw a foul.
Yeah,
I'm a big
Speaking
fan.
of fouls, I'm glad you brought that up. Are Arsenal the dirtiest team in the league?
No, they know how to affect the referee's decision.
Snide little kicks all day long that never get pulled up. And tell you the culprit is Saka.
As if Roy Keane was his captain.
I'm watching Saka going, yeah, but Roy Keane would muller you and then look at you. Saka's doing stuff when the ball's got to the refs and no one's seen it.
Yeah, he's a golden child, isn't it? I think that's clever. I think
it's about time Arsenal have a bit of still in, because they've been
not still, it's snide.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call it. I think it's good. It's good. I really enjoyed watching that game. To be fair, it was a good London derby.
I just want to point out that we paid 24 million for Trossard, even though Modric scored, one of the best buys that we've had in the last 10, 15 years.
He's had massive impact.
Yeah.
Do you think, though, boys, just before you lot move on, that the substitution of Sterling and Palmer caused their team to kind of be a bit unbalanced?
No, I just think that it was a mistake. Goalkeepers made that substitution doesn't amount for the mistake that Sanchez makes with that pass. It's like it's a baggy pass, and then it's a great execution at the end of it, capitalises on a mistake. And then the dynamic of the game just absolutely, I think regardless of who's on that pitch, it's such a big swing sometimes when a goal like that happens. Like Declan said after the game, they were kind of dead on their feet, a bit weary. You get a goal like that, man, it's like having 20 Red Bulls in one go. Bang, you're up and running again.
And Nico Jackson, he glitched though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was going on with that?
I don't know, man. Apparently, he's the new Drogba.
Sanchez, you two want to talk about people smashing into players.
Yeah.
Sanchez smashes into Gabriel Jesus. Where's our
looking
penalty?
forward to you talking
Where's our
about it for a
penalty?
month.
You was talking about Arsenal always get the calls. We didn't get that one.
I'm expecting TalkSport to go for absolutely turbo on it, seeing as though they did with Onana. People are still bringing Onana's up now.
And Onana had a great game the other day, by the way. Just what I let you know.
Joe wouldn't.
Joe didn't mention that.
No, of course he wouldn't.
No need to. Before we move on, field tilt. Rio, we was in a group chat looking
I
at
can't
this.
even chat about it. It's rubbish.
Hey, look at this, right?
You had
see,
3
look at
shots
it.
on target. How about I pull that stat up?
We're gonna pull this up on the screen, right? I'll send it to Tom. Yeah, but this is an Arsenal fan trying to show Arsenal's field tilt, and it says field tilt is the share of touches in the final third, 10-minute moving average.
Do you know what? I don't even want to see this. Man.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, they know how to create wins out of nothing.
Even I was just like,
The alternative league table champions of the world, isn't it?
I just can't stand it. It's the most
mad.
pointless stat ever, to be
It
fair.
was mad. Boring. Man City beating Brighton 2-1. Haaland's been found out. Still got 9 out of 9 goals this season. Alvarez, low key, one of the best players of the season. I think what he does goes under the radar.
Yeah.
Bad man. Obviously, Doku doing his thing. But
He's an old school winger, man.
Yeah. Get the book, Tony Daly.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Wow, that's a shout. Is it any coincidence Rodri's back in the team and City
Yes.
winning? Pep found out.
The only player. He's the only player at City that you can't take out of that team.
Yeah. He's unreplaceable, man. Like, I've said this many times. Him and Kevin De Bruyne in that team, it secures everything. Like, you've got a defensive powerhouse who can also ball, and then you've got KDB who's just inshallah and whip it in, and Haaland's just there hanging his foot. I think you see with City, one thing everyone needs to realize is that season after season they do this. Start off very slow. It's like they pre-everyone where everyone's going, and then
January
book parades and stuff.
Like Liverpool happened with Liverpool as well. They wait and then they just go on that run. So
Liverpool, by the way, I was at the game, the derby, rubbish game. Liverpool poor. But they got the job done. 2 goals. The sending off was a big thing, obviously. But did you see the?
I saw both.
It should have been a
the funny thing is, I think it was. When I look back at the replay,
Kanate's one. No, Young's one was a send off. I think Kanate, he should have had a second yellow.
Rude.
I couldn't believe he didn't get it. It changed the whole dynamic of the game.
It's all right. Klopp wants a replay because he said someone was, didn't follow the rules, and he believes in fairness. So he's asked for a replay, right?
Has he?
Surely.
You get it.
Surely.
Liverpool get
Surely
it.
he's asked.
Liverpool get it.
Yeah, no, I think that Liverpool Everton game was a bit but standout players, Diaz, glad he's back, man. He's looking dangerous for them.
Do you reckon? I thought he was poor on the day.
I thought he was all right, because I think he's always a threat. That's the thing with him. Like, you're always going to get something.
I think he's right. I think he's off what we've seen. Still
That injury.
So he's got a bit to come back.
I don't know.
Really?
Salah's just a joke, mate. Didn't touch the ball, didn't do nothing, got 2 goals.
He's a stat padder.
Yeah.
But he's a great player. I've stopped my
He's not a
agenda again.
stat. He's not a can't.
No, as in literally, he doesn't have to play well in a game.
He's right, though.
But he will genuinely influence it. Like when he's in my FPL team, I just knew.
Look what he delivers, though. If he's scoring goals and assists, I couldn't care.
2-on-2. That's just like it's
target 2.
I think for me, he's the most ready-made player, like ready for any situation in the Premier League. Like he doesn't need to have a great influence on the game. Just give him that chance.
Some players need touches, innit?
Nah, he just
especially wide players, you used to get them as well. Like, if they're not getting touches of the ball, they're like throwing their arms about, ill-disciplined, going and chasing the ball. He just says, I'm going to get my moment.
You did commentary on the TNT game. 2 questions. How did you find it? And the Ashley Cole laugh, was it on purpose?
It was a joke because Ali McCoy mentioned Ashley Cole instead of Ashley Young. So we were ribbing him a little bit. So I thought, I don't want to leave him on his own. So just messing about, I said it, and I said it again. And they were sitting there because they were off air. They were cracking up, crying, laughing. But it was it's similar. I can see the mistake can be made. But I love it because, I'm watching it from a bird's eye view in the gantry. You're up high seeing it and you're involved in. We're in the studio, which is still good, don't get me wrong, but you're kind of cut off from the atmosphere when you're behind the screens and stuff. So being I like it. But the problem, I have to control myself because I'm a squealer when I watch games. Like,
we heard.
I make enough noises and I can't, and I have to stop myself from swearing and stuff like that. So it's a challenge up there, trust me.
But it was different energy. I think that's what's needed. So no, it was good. It was good to listen to. I was messaging you at some point. You weren't replying, obviously, when you were working.
I was busy working.
I replied to me.
Yeah. I've been trying to
I've messaged him while he's about to go and
we're doing convo.
You replied to me as well. I was just trying to make
I think I'm doing the United game.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I think I'm doing
nice.
that. Yeah.
What, tomorrow's one?
Yeah.
I might drive out there tomorrow.
You coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you both up there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Steve, where do you sit?
Straight for the top deck.
Yeah, you singing all the songs?
50-50 to be honest.
used to. Yeah.
I'm old, mate. I just watch the game.
I actually have never
But
been in the
it's
Stretford End
fully
before.
everywhere.
Nah.
It's we only sit down at half time where I am, so it's like it's a pretty raucous kind of section. Not as much as the TRA. TRA's acing it, having it in the corner.
That's the best stuff.
Are you corporate Daving it like him when it comes?
No chance.
What? What do you mean no chance?
Bro, my
Every time I see
season
you-
my season ticket is as soon as you come out the dugout, it's on the right hand side, Sir Bobby Charlton's
You
stand.
must have moved because it weren't like that before.
I've always been there.
No,
It's
so
not,
he's
how
had-
comes every
he
time
gets
I
it's
to
not
choose
my
you.
fault that I get invited by my club. You know what I mean? I don't want to give me some wings.
Are you going in that Coke so you'll be noticed?
No, I do Black Canada Goose, man.
Is it?
Yeah, I go straight. Red Army. Yeah, this is London
Ultra.
style. Yeah, Red Army.
Oh man. Okay, running down the rest of the games really quickly. Brentford beating Burnley 3-0.
Like Burnley fans are mad, you know. They're asking for 4-4-2, asking it to be. This is not
Are they?
joking.
They want Daesh
Burnley
back. They want
fans
Daesh back.
Basically, want Daesh back. They want 4-4-2, bit
his
more
voice.
structure, maybe a bit more direct. And they're like, that's anyway.
They were asking for that last year when they were flying up that league in the
Told you
Championship.
they wouldn't.
But it's different in the Championship, though, isn't it?
You did.
Bournemouth Bournemouth losing to Wolves 2-1.
Wolves got themselves out of trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did
Neto.
all right.
Oh, he's back on it. ain't he?
Ola.
Nottingham Forest drawing 2-2 with Luton Town.
Big point that for Luton.
Great point.
What are you laughing at? That's a massive point for
Could be
us.
staying up.
it is.
Newcastle smashing Crystal Palace 4-0.
Yeah, they're a problem.
That was
Jacob Murphy, I think, got 2
Oh,
assists
you
and a
see
goal.
that? Yeah, he's on point.
On fire.
Aston Villa slapping at West Ham 4-1.
Yeah, they turned the corner.
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins is on point, you know.
All right,
goal.
boys, the conversation needs to be had about him, you know.
Yeah.
Go on, then,
I said it.
What's the
What's-
conversation?
I think he's the one.
For what?
For what?
I think he's the one.
For who?
When Harry Kane's done, I think he's the one.
Wow, I thought Joel came with the guinea takes.
No. I think Ollie Watkins does everything that you want from a player. He's a bully, strong. He knows how to finish. Obviously, Harry Kane is the GOAT, so it's never going to happen.
You can't put them two on the same
I'm
level.
not. I'm
though,
just
Harry,
saying for
man.
England, that's a great number 2.
Like he's
No,
going to
no,
get
I
that phone call.
No, I think he
Southgate's
should.
not got his number.
Yeah, Southgate's got a problem with people.
I like Ollie Watkins. I know what you're saying. It's mad though, but because I've been having this conversation a lot with people, right? As good as he is and as well as he's doing, Ollie Watkins, like you say, after Harry Kane at the moment, he's probably the first choice backup striker.
Sick, man.
Where does he get in the England team in
15 years ago.
98, for instance, or
20 years ago.
2005?
No chance.
Where's he go?
He does clean the boots, if I'm honest, because the
doesn't
level
get-
is
he doesn't
very,
get in
very
the
high.
squad.
But I don't think Harry Kane has messed it up for all England strikers because he's just the levels are so different in comparison.
So
to
what I'm
the
saying
others.
is the depth. I'm not even talking about the top one. Or top 3.
You're talking about depth.
Like-
Back in the day, you had Jermaine Defoe.
No, forget
You
that.
had-
Whoa.
you had-
You had Shearer, Sheringham,
Cole.
Robbie Fowler.
Oh, you're
Kevin
talking
Cole,
back. Oh, you're talking back
Ian
then.
Wright,
Campbell never
Les
got a cap.
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Let's start with that. Kevin Campbell never got a cap. Not one.
Jeez, Louise.
Like I've named 6 there.
Yeah.
Like that. No disrespect, Ollie Watkins probably doesn't get in above any of them.
Yeah.
And there's more. Probably
That's why it was a
couple more.
golden generation. This is like the bronze
but
generation.
Do you
in my
think he
opinion.
Do you think he gets in that era where it was Owen and Heskey?
Okay, go through it.
I think it was
year is
him.
this?
It was
2001?
I can't remember. I know.
Owen,
Is it Darius Vassell?
Heskey, Darius Vassell.
He gets in that one, right?
Yeah, ahead of herself for me.
Yeah. Vassell was
Crouchy.
I think we're talking. It's a bit
Crouchy.
unfair, you know. I think it's a bit
Jermaine-
unfair because
Jermaine-
that era
Jermaine
what you're
Defoe
talking about
was
with
the maddest era.
Owens, you don't get better. These are like some of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
Owen Heskey era, he's in the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think now we've only got Harry Kane.
But you got to remember, it's a bit like Italy, innit? Like they had that golden era. Like when you look at England playing against Italy, you just think,
They're dead. No, but their whole team's dry.
Yeah.
England are like they've got like you look at England's fullbacks, right backs is probably that's like ridiculous amount of talent in midfield now. Got a whirl of talent in there to pick
John
from.
Anderson.
but
Yeah.
I still reckon.
Even but forward areas, even forward line areas, the wide ones,
Yeah,
They've got
that's the
so many
talent.
players.
It's just up front, literally. If Harry
number
Kane,
9.
God forbid, gets injured, it's
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is the first call up for me.
But even
He
if
was
you
magic. He was on that goal the other day. Step over, shift, bang,
He's so quick.
roof of the net.
I think we should do that. We should compare some of these errors, especially with the Euros
let's
coming
do
up,
that,
obviously,
yeah.
because even though you're saying we've got talent in this era, I do agree in midfield, but who's breaking into Lampard, Scholes, and Gerrard? Like, if it's done in a
Bellingham.
besides Bellingham,
Well, nobody.
Yeah.
there you go. So
Like, does
Certainly not Saudi Arabia.
Declan Rice?
It's not, is it?
Does Declan Rice get in ahead of Owen Hargreaves and Michael Carrick?
Nope.
no.
Okay, that's no respect to Rice, but
It's not.
Carrick is a controller. Hargreaves
Controller.
had it all.
Hargreaves was
But I think
sick,
the
you
people
know.
still
We
didn't
forget.
watch him.
Hargreaves.
Yeah,
I could never
Silk.
connect with him because maybe his accent. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I didn't understand.
player.
But
Silk.
he was a
2008,
player.
He was sick.
Player.
I never forget that free kick against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I thought, what are you doing over there, brother?
Yeah,
but then when it went in, I said, fair play, brother.
He's going to come on the show at some point. He's got a good story about that. The day before, he was taking free kicks for Cristiano, and when he asked him for it, Cristiano said like he remembered the day before in training the quality.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he said. He said something like that. He'd explain it better. But I don't know. It's hard to compare eras, but it'd be good to do that. The Euros, like Euro '96 squad. You look at the forwards that were around then compared to now. It's just different.
What was that? Shearer, Sutton.
Shearer.
Les Ferdinand.
Sheringham. Ian Wright. Sheringham. Like the players
Bagsman.
that Robbie Fowler. Like players that didn't go
Nasty.
like Dion Dublin, Matt Letizia. Remember the goals Matt Letizia used to score?
Nah, he was silk.
Like there's other one. Andy Cole didn't even go.
Yeah, actually, we start there.
That gets
Andy
me
Cole.
mad though. That one,
But to be fair to Andy Cole, there was a run in like the 2000.
There was never a run enough for him not to get in.
Bro, 30 goals is like per season.
I know, but there was a run where he just couldn't find the net for England. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have got more goals. No, there was a time.
Yeah, Alan Shearer went about 6 hours once. Or
Alan Shearer went probably about 10 games or whatever it was. Like it was,
Fair enough.
But Andy Cole was being a top goal scorer or vying for that golden boot every year, and never was ever considered a starter.
No, it was bad. I'm
Did
not
he win
saying
a
it was good.
PFA?
I love him, by the way.
Don't know, but he's never considered a starter for England.
don't.
I know
I
you
don't
had
think he
Sheringham
did.
and Shearer.
Yeah.
I know they were great, but
the goals he scored, but he also had like 130 some assists as well.
And he'll tell you straight.
pens
innit?
as
No
well.
pens.
No pens.
like players that didn't become regulars in that era was Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Andy Cole, Matt Letizia. I'm missing some. Dion Dublin was flying for Coventry or Villa.
There was loads of players. There was it's same as it is now, same as it's always. I mean, Michael Carrick was never a regular for England, which is a tragedy.
No, but let's be honest though. You don't like Gerrard and Scholes and Lampard. You got to pick them ahead of.
It's not that.
You
It's
pick the
the
team that's gonna win.
formation.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, no, you're right then, because our formation has always been, I think personally, the best, and Rio, you can agree or disagree, because you actually played in them teams, was when Glen Hoddle was the manager.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that's when it was more fluid. I think that's
And he was
98
the
World
only-
Cup,
and he was the
to
only-
this day is my favourite World
And
Cup.
he was before
All of this.
Pello
yeah.
and Sven.
And I think
He
the
played
Beckham doc made me
4-4-2.
realise even more how whack England's team strategy was.
Straight shape.
Why
Yeah.
did Sven play 4-4-2 and not 4-3-3? Was that because he thought he was adapting it to the English player?
No, I don't think he understood. I didn't think he was capable of adapting. I think he was very, very stubborn. This is the way I've been successful up to this point.
Did he win Lazio when
he
he won with Lazio? Was it 4-4-2?
I'm presuming so because that's all he played with us. Like, but you have to remember we had no out and out left winger. Joe Cole played there a lot. Yeah, Scholes played there for a time. We had no. So if you've got no out and out winger,
Barnby.
you find another way of playing maybe. Like, and then especially when you've got 3 of the best midfielders in the world to pick from as well, who could potentially play in a diamond. So you're going to get
And
another
Steven
one
Gerrard as
4. Yeah. But we were so rigid.
But this is what I still don't. I think England were behind really quickly because if you look at Brazil, at one point they were shoehorning Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Kaká.
No, they had Ronaldo, Rivaldo,
Yeah.
and they had Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho.
Right, as a front 3. So that's an obvious pick, yeah. But behind that, they had people like who played in midfield in that team? Again?
Carlos Alberto.
No.
Your team, Kleberson and that.
Yeah. They're people that they weren't like big name brands. They were people that were there for a reason to support the star in act.
They played 4-2-2 and they got width by having Roberto Carlos
Fullbacks,
as a
yeah,
winger
engines,
and Cafu
yeah.
as a winger. And they
was
played
just-
2 6s, 2 8s, 2 strikers and 2 centre halves. It was rigid in the middle and they used... Cafu wasn't a fullback, was he? Let's be honest. Roberto Carlos
right
is
winger,
not
innit?
back.
But they played. What they done is they played to their strengths. If them two fullbacks were in England, they'd have been in a basic 4-4-2, not allowed to go over the
that's my
halfway
point.
line.
I'm going to see what the team was because I have to see.
Hey, listen, I'm going to wrap it up, but really
Roque
quickly.
Junior centre half with Lucio.
Really quickly,
Lucio.
random, but Ajax troubles. They're 8
No, it
games in
wasn't.
a row
Roque
without
Junior
winning.
and Juan, I think.
They ain't trying to hear this.
say again.
Juan was part of that, but it's
Yeah.
Lucio as well, though.
I don't think Lucio did. Lucio start that game.
What, in,
Cafu, Carlos, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo,
it was Roque Cruz.
Edison da Silva Ferreira, Jose Edmilson, Rivaldo, Rocky Jr., Kleberson, Lucio, Gilberto Silva. Gilberto Silva, Kleberson.
Mad.
Go on.
Man, it don't really matter anymore. But yeah,
Sinclair played for England.
Ajax, 8 games in a row without a win. 17th in the league, lowest ranking in the club's history.
Joel, I thought it was easy to win with Ajax. What's
22
happened?
points behind PSV. More
Hag
goals
effect.
conceded than scored.
What's he said? I saw something that Raphael van der Vaart said. He said they're going to have to start focusing on avoiding relegation now. That's what he said. He said like,
Hey,
headline.
Rio, get that guy.
Yeah, we have to chat
He's
to him.
funny,
Funny.
you know. Like he just
Says it
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's another Prince boy. He's just hilarious. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching Vibe with 5. Like I said earlier on, we're releasing Michael Owen, this or that with Harry Pinero. Tell me you weren't impressed with that whole.
He's honest, you know.
Yeah.
Says it how he feels, and he's got a lot of good stories, which obviously if you haven't watched it already, go watch Beyond the 90. Very good episode.
And yeah, so besides that, guys, anything else you want to add?
I wouldn't say
Has your,
go on.
go on. Before you say, has your show been named with
Ed's gone now, yeah.
Head's gone?
Steve and Ash.
Steve and Ash.
They're
Have you-
doing mad stuff in
Have
it.
you
Like
watched
traveling
these
the world
guys are
and that.
loons, mate?
Don't tune in for football.
Loons.
I just want to say Man United are 6 points off the top, love.
Yeah, we're already.
Yeah,
we're
worst start to our season.
You know, you got City on the weekend, right? On
I won't be
Sunday.
here, I'll be in Rome.
Okay, cool.
I won't be here.
You
Like that.
do know that, though.
Yeah.
Put up.
Yeah.
Results.
Guys, thank you very much for watching.
It actually looks like a meme. You know the meme?
Yeah.
Of the
Do it.
That's us on Vibe with 5. See you next week. Peace. Steve and Rio, we have our live score 6 predictions to do this weekend. Last week, we got 4 correct results and 0 correct scores, which is another £100 for our charity, and we've accumulated £825. Here are the 6 games this week. What are we thinking? Arsenal versus Sheffield United. You guys beat them, so we will
3-0.
as well.
3-0.
3-0, yeah, 3-0. No scary moments for us. 3-0. Bournemouth versus Burnley.
No, 1-0.
I'll take that.
I'll have that as well.
Yeah, 1-1. Wolves versus Newcastle.
Ooh, I reckon.
I said Newcastle.
2-1
2-1 Newcastle.
I
Yeah.
think clean sheet, 2-0.
Nah, I go 2-1. Well, you've got overrun here. You got to go 2-1. West Ham versus Everton.
Oh, West Ham are flying at the minute.
They got beat.
Well, after they got
smashed at the
slapped.
weekend.
They're
Yeah.
flying at the minute. They are flying at
At
the minute.
home, they're a different team, maybe.
I think they're flying at the minute. Bowen's in good form.
I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think they're going to. Everton are garbage.
Everton defended well the other day.
3-1.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, 3-1. Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest.
4-0.
I think Liverpool are back, you know. 4-0.
4-5-0.
Yeah, 4-0.
They weren't great.
Man
And anyway, that'll
United,
do us for this week.
Man United versus
don't do
Man
this to me,
City.
man.
Oh, this is the one. I say 3-0 past the pad. I've seen it before.
3-0 past the pad.
What do you reckon? 3-0 past the pad? Okay.
We're better at home than you're giving us credit for, but I can't see us winning.
I'm going to go 1-0 City.
Oh! What? Steve?
I think it's more. I think it's more.
I'm just-
It's not a United win, is it? Let's be real. And it ain't a draw. 2-0
You know how much it
City.
hurt me to say that.
2-0 City.
2-0 City.
Go on, I'll go with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'll go with 2-0 as well. Sounds
For
great.
the cause of hope.
Yeah.
No.
Enter by 3 p.m. on
I'll
Saturday.
give you the 25 quid.
Yeah. Enter by Saturday, the 28th of October at 3 p.m. for a chance to win. 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Full T's and C's apply. Come on, City.